Hello, this is Mike with MatterFix.io, and this is another one in our series of walkthrough videos that we're doing for the Matterport service provider community. And in these videos, we try and go through common problems that you might encounter with your Matterport camera, how to diagnose the problem, and then if a repair is needed, what your repair options are. So today we're going to talk about batteries. As you well know, batteries functioning correctly is integral to having your Matterport camera work correctly. If you got a battery issue, a lot of times you're out of luck until you get it fixed. Or maybe you're thinking about buying a used camera, or you have some other battery issue. We're going to try and walk you through how to diagnose those problems and what your options might be. So basically, Matterport has designed a proprietary battery pack for their cameras. This is a very high quality lithium-ion battery pack. It should, as long as you keep it charged up, you should never have to replace them. I think I've only had one instance where batteries had, the battery life had decreased to the point where we suggested to the customer to go ahead and replace them. If you charge them, occasionally, keep the charge level right, you should be able to use them indefinitely. And as I said, this is proprietary design. You can't buy, an off-the-shelf battery and replace it in there. Matterport is very particular, and rightfully so, about how their batteries are handled, manufactured and installed. Lithium-ion batteries can, if the battery is nicked or punctured, if the battery charge level gets too low, lithium-ion cells can become unstable and even in an extreme case combust. So it's really important not to try and do any battery related work yourself. That needs to be done by us or done by Matterport. Now, there's three different models of the cameras currently out now. There's the Pro 1, the Pro 2, and the Pro 2 Lite. The Pro 1 and the Pro 2 each have two battery packs in them. These are both Matterport batteries. They're both functional. This is just the older version of them. This is the newer version. Same battery pack, interchangeable. They've just improved the protection on this one. So the Pro 1, the Pro 2 have two batteries each. The Pro 2 Lite has one battery. Other than that, it's the same as the Pro 2 camera. So that's kind of the basics there on what's in the cameras. Now, another concept to understand is that the batteries have three different states that they can be in. Your normal operating state, meaning the battery is fully functional, you plug the charger in, the OLED panel lights up, it starts charging the battery charges to 100% or full, stops charging, you go out, use the camera, the battery level goes down, come back in and repeat. So the battery takes a full charge, discharges, that's the normal state. Now, the second state a battery can be in is kind of like I guess you'd call it a sleep state. Like I said, the Matterport or lithium-ion batteries can become unstable if the charge level gets too low. So if you haven't used your camera for an extended period of time and the battery level drops to a certain point, that battery is going to kind of go into a sleep state. Now, it's still okay as long as you don't leave it in that state too long. When you plug it in, should wake up and refresh and start operating normally. So that's the second state, kind of call it the sleep state. And then the third state, where you don't want to let your batteries go, is when it gets to a lower threshold, the battery is going to sense the voltage is getting too low, and it's going to say, hey, we need to protect this battery, we need to keep some charge in it. At that point, there's going to be a kill switch that's going to be activated inside the battery, and then that battery is no longer serviceable, it's not repairable, and it's going to have to be replaced. So that talks about the different cameras, what batteries are in them, and kind of conceptually you have the three different, the normal operating state, the kind of in a sleep mode, and then after the kill switch, the dead battery. So now I'm going to change the camera angle, and we're going to walk you through a couple of different scenarios and how to diagnose what's going on with the batteries in your particular instance. And as we've always said, if you don't understand something or you see something different in that, feel free to contact us, message us on Facebook, whatever. We're here to help you. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we've talked about the basics of the batteries that are in the Matterport camera. Now let's go through how you test to see what is going on with the batteries in a particular camera. This is an old Beater Pro 1 that I have that I use for testing batteries. So the board and the charging circuitry and the little panel on that is fully functional in it. So first of all, obviously you want to have a good charger. If you have any questions about your chargers, we have another video we've done where you can troubleshoot and determine whether or not a charger is functioning correctly. Always when you plug a good charger into a camera that's probably functioning okay, immediately when you plug it in, the OLED panel should light up. If you plug in, let's simulate it not working correctly. You plug in like this and nothing happens, then you have another problem. The batteries may be good or may be bad. You don't know anything about the batteries at this point. There's another problem in the camera, and this can be the charger port can be bad. Your charger could not be working correctly. There could be a problem. This OLED panel could be out. Could be one of a number of issues. In this case, it'd probably be best for you to contact us and we can kind of walk you through how to diagnose what's going on in that case. So first case, if you plug it in and nothing happens, you don't know anything about the batteries and we need to troubleshoot a different way. Now, the most likely scenario is when you plug in, immediately the OLED panel is going to come on and it's going to tell you what the status of the batteries is. Now, in this case, this is simulating bad batteries. So I've got some bad batteries here. I'm going to plug 2 of them in. Okay, now I happen to know that these batteries are bad, but just because you plug it in and it goes to 0%, 0%, oh, now it says it's charging, but it won't when you go back, see 0%. Just because you plug it in and it says 0% and it doesn't seem to be taking a charge, these batteries could be in that, it's a de-energized state before they go bad, where the power's gotten so low, the battery circuitry says, whoa, I need to cut off the charging here because I'm not sure what's going on with these batteries. So what you want to do if you get to 0% is you want to plug the charger in and you want to leave it plugged in for 3 or 4 hours or ideally overnight. If the batteries are in that mid state, they'll take a trickle charge from the charger and they'll eventually wake up. So you may check it the next morning and one or both of the batteries might be good. So what you've got here, 0, is telling you your charger's working, the camera's okay, the batteries currently are not taking a charge. Let them charge for a while, see they might wait, one or both might wake up. So that's scenario 1. Now, if you get up the next morning or whenever and it still says 0, that means both of those batteries are bad and they're going to have to be replaced. They have a third stage in the batteries when the charge gets so low, there's a fail-safe circuit on the battery management boards that basically kills the batteries, and at that point, they can't be refreshed, they can't be repaired, they have to be replaced. So that's 2 bad batteries. Now, let's look at what might happen if you have one bad battery and 1 good battery. So I'm going to plug in a good battery here, and I'm going to plug in the charger. Okay, so you see this is reading 60% and it's taking a charge. Now what's going to happen here, since I have a good battery and a bad battery, is this charge is only being applied to the good battery. So eventually, within a few minutes probably, it's going to top off that good battery and it's going to stop charging. So if you plug in a Pro 1 or a Pro 2 camera and you let it charge for a while, but it stops around 50 to 60% and goes to that fast blinking light and indicates that it's not taking a charge anymore, then that tells you one of those 2 batteries in that camera is bad and is going to need to be replaced. So that's the one bad battery. Now let's or one good battery, one bad battery. Now let's simulate the normal thing where you have two good batteries in a camera. So unplug that bad battery, I plug in a second known good battery, and I plug in the charger. Boom, it says battery full. Now, it's still, you notice you have the slow blinking light once every 2 seconds. That means, and you have the lightning bolt. That means the camera is applying a charge to the batteries, but it's just going to top them off. Pretty soon, if I left this plug in for 20 minutes or so, those batteries are going to be topped off and it's going to go to 100%. The light's going to start blinking rapidly, which means whenever the light is blinking rapidly, that means the charger is not applying a charge to the batteries. So when it gets to that point, it'll stop charging. And in this case, you know you have two good batteries in this camera. Now the only difference in this is the Pro 2 Lite. When it comes from the factory, it only has one excuse me, only has one battery in it. So when you're testing one of those, it's going to operate basically like the Pro 2. It's either you're going to plug it in, it should start taking a charge, and it should charge to 100%. If you plug in a Pro 2 Lite and it starts taking a charge, in our experience, then the battery's good. The camera's good. The camera's good to go. Now, that kind of covers the basics of the batteries as far as testing, to know what what the state of the batteries are in a camera. And we're going to wrap it up here, and I'll give you a few options for getting the repairs done. Okay, so we've walked you through the basics of the batteries that are in the Matterport cameras, and we've walked you through how to diagnose. Just to recap that real quickly, you plug the charger in and nothing happens at all. The OLED panel doesn't light up. It's not necessarily a battery problem. In fact, you don't know anything about the battery at that point. You've got another issue with the camera. So in that case, contact us. We can help you diagnose it. But so you plug it in, the OLED panel lights up as it should, and it says 0%. That means that the charger's good, the camera's reacting the way it should be, and it's trying to charge see if it can supply a charge to the batteries. If you leave it plugged in for 3 or 4 hours or overnight and you go back and check it, it's still at 0%, that means both of those batteries are bad and need to be replaced. If you plug it in, let it charge up, and it charges up to 50%, that would apply to a Pro 1 and a Pro 2, which have two batteries each. If it only charges to 50% or 60%, somewhere in that range, that means you have one good battery and one bad battery. If you plug it in and it charges up to 100% or over 50%, well, to be safe, say it charges over 60%. So a Pro 1 or a Pro 2, if it charges over 60%, you know that both of the batteries are taking a charge and both those batteries are probably fine. So that kind of that's just a recap of diagnosing the batteries. Now, the battery replacements, Matterport is very selective, rightfully so, about who can do replacements and work related to batteries on their cameras. As I discussed before, lithium-ion battery packs, if you damage the outside of them, that can be a real problem. If they're punctured, they can start to combust. If the charge level gets too low, the battery packs can become unstable. For safety reasons, Matterport only permits, currently now, they can do battery replacements and we can do battery replacements. So your camera needs to be sent in to one of us if any of the batteries need to be replaced. At MatterFix, the cost to do the battery replacements, currently what the cost is, if you need one battery replaced, it's $250 plus return shipping. If you need both batteries replaced, it's $400 plus return shipping. Typically, we complete our repairs and send cameras back to customers for standard repairs. We complete the repair and send the camera back to customers the day after we receive it. If you're in a real bind and you ship to us via UPS and notify us ahead of time, a lot of times we can complete a repair the same day and send the camera back, or if you're in a real rush. We do warranty our repair work for 1 year. And we'd love to help you out. If you have a repair issue with your Matterport camera, you can message us on Facebook. Email is info@matterfix.io. I believe we have our phone number on our website, so feel free to reach out to us, and we look forward to helping you. Thanks.